the reality of our movie is really important to us. We're trying to be authentic and portray Afghanistan and its people in a respectful way and a real way.
Ultimately, we took this project, and what we want the audience to feel is a sense of immersion.
It's really a character study. We were really into the emotional complexity of it. Can you get laughs here? Can you get tears here?
There's shit in the air, and I don't think I can do this.
I didn't see it as just an out-and-out comedy. I mean, I saw it as a real story with humorous moments.
Are you saying I'm a 4?
I'm saying you carry an orange fucking backpack.
The scope of what's going on in war and in Afghanistan is so much bigger than anything that Kim's done. It's an awakening for her. Oh, God. God, Christ. There's a, bazoo. There's a bazoo here.
And listen, in 3 months...
I'll be back. No, that's terrible. No, don't remember me like that. The movie is set in 2003 when the conflict in Afghanistan is going on simultaneously with the war in Iraq. And Kim ends up going to Kabul, where she's never been, expecting to stay for 3 months. And she ends up staying for 3+ years.
Welcome to the stand, Kim.
This is a movie about this woman who is at a certain place in life, arguably a dead end, and takes a leap.
The police are giving me shit for parking here. They just want money.
Wait, oh, no, do you need money?
I couldn't really imagine anyone else playing the part of Kim.
Sorry.
She's in every scene practically. She's involved at all kinds of levels with the productions.
Robert wrote it for Tina. They've been working together for years. They worked together on Saturday Night Live years ago.
We're competing for airtime with Janet Jackson's left tit.
One of the things I loved about this project is that it's a different part for Tina.
I'm not going to teach you like the military or police.
Right, did you see me sort of
It's just the innocence of the first time.
And it really was a chance for her to spread her wings as an actress. We wanted to see her stretch, and she wanted to stretch, and so that's what got us the challenge of that and the excitement of seeing her go to the next level.
Okay, I don't care who the hell's in there. I'm Kim Baker.
One in Kim. Jerry's expecting you.
Well, that's fucking unsatisfying.
The more she does, the more people realize that she's not just a super smart lady writing jokes or, knowing where the punchline is.
Oh, me? Oh, no, thank you. Thank you, though. I'm good. Thanks. You know what? It's tempting, but no, thank you.
She also knows where serious moments are, and a lot of her comedy comes from serious things, and she can play both sides of that.
I haven't been on the air in months. My best friend here almost died, and I am jealous of her. And I am just... Fuck this! All of it!
Yeah, great. Cut. Let's go again.
John and Glenn really seem like the perfect fit because they're comedy writers as their background, and they have this beautiful visual sense that you see in the movie.
Is this your first night out?
Yes.
Tina and Lauren met with them and just felt like these are two guys that could really make something special here that we're trying to do. And they work so well together. It's so fun to watch them interact because you don't see a lot of directing teams.
We really try to make a cast that works well together and who has both comic chops and dramatic chops.
Miss Baker, I'm Fahim.
Oh, Fahim, nice to meet you. As soon as Kim lands on the ground, she's assigned a fixer, which is an Afghan gentleman named Fahim, played by Chris Abbott. It's good to finally be in Kabul.
Kabul. Honest mistake.
The character Fahim is the moral center of the movie. He and Kim become friends, and really good friends.
The only thing I ask is that you make sure my friend is there.
Oh, your friend is me. I get it.
As she begins to understand a culture that's dense and complicated.
In my culture, we would hug.
He's an incredible dramatic actor, and he's a naturally funny guy as well. You can just tell when the person comes in and you meet them.
No, that hit the net.
The what?
It hit the net.
The invisible net?
Yes. My
Let's
point.
go. Bullshit.
Kim, the reason that your Village Well story got traction is because it wasn't a bang bang. It was about women's rights. It's a brilliant piece, that.
Ian is the war photographer, and I think that has hardened him a little bit.
So, Kim, this is Ian.
So what's your deal then? Some bloke throw you over, so you thought, yeah, forget him, I'm gonna go discover the wonders of the East and I'm gonna fuck a Scottish guy and write a book. I'm Scottish, by the way. He's an animal who wants to get straight in there, do the job and leave, whether that's war or women or whatever.
Scotland is a ridiculous place, you know that. Your national animal is the unicorn.
You should know that, in spite of the unicorn, if you said to a Scottish person, Scotland is a ridiculous place. It's their bound duty. Turn out the table and stab you in the throat. It's only because you're looking nice in that blouse.
Oh, cheers.
You're stopping me from doing that.
It's just fun to have him in the scenes, and you know, he's very funny, he's very sassy. He's that character that you love to hate.
Tanya, what's her story?
She has a boyfriend, and she's unconscious, okay?
Kim really bonds deeply with Tanya.
Oh my God, it's so nice to have another woman in the house. I love that lippy color. What is that? No, they're just really chapped.
Tanya was written as a South African seasoned reporter. Tina always thought of someone that was just like a different species than her.
Hi. More blood. Should I keep? That's kind of cool in there. It's kind of like an unlikely friendship, and I think in the real world they wouldn't have been friends, but in the kabubble, you know, you end up gravitating towards each other. Here, you're 9.
What are you here, like a 15?
Yeah.
The other reason for hiring someone as beautiful as Margot was that Tina is anything other than a New York 7.
Tina's beautiful.
It's a little, yeah, I know. It's just like a little bit of suspension of disbelief. But, you know, I think that contrast is there.
Domestic, reportage.
Reportage. We need to work on your lie.
What is your lie?
I'm actually a very tall Asian man named Ronald.
Your room is upstairs, Kim.
The set of the Funhouse, which is this, you can't even really call it a hotel, this kind of flop house where the journalists all live together. It's beautiful in its shabbiness.
You smoke hash?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Anyway, yeah, we'll get us smoke some hash. Welcome to the Funhouse.
I think the metaphor is a college dorm.
The difference is we're using herbal blend, and it doesn't produce the quality of smoke that you would see from the shisha.
The Funhouse is sort of the home base for our film. So we wanted it to feel really lived in. We wanted it to have a lot of authentic architectural elements built in.
This is your room.
Is there a shower?
Those bedrooms are kind of depressing, you know, for people well into adulthood. They're slightly like a sort of 18-year-old's dorm. Everything feels kind of temporary, even though you're there for a while.
There is a shower here, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's gross, but it's so appropriately gross. It's like you're living in a beautiful ashtray.
We've got a great art department led by Beth Mickle, our designer, and I think she's doing a remarkable job with her team of bringing Afghanistan and Kabul to life here in New Mexico.
You know, what Beth Mickle's been able to do here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and Santa Fe, New Mexico, to make us feel like we are actually in Kabul has been amazing.
It's fantastic. The weather's lovely. And the shopping's incredible. And the restaurant, oh.
The mud brick and the adobe that they use there, it's actually really similar to what they do here in Santa Fe and in Albuquerque. So this is a location that ended up being really just incredibly fortunate because we started with a lot of the same materials.
This is a very sort of brown and beige environment, which is fairly typical for Afghanistan. But I'd say, you know, not all of our exterior environments are this.
And the directors were great. They wanted to give it more life, a little bit more spice, give it a little more color. But a lot of blues, a lot of rich Mediterranean colors unexpectedly. There's a lot of mint tones. There's a lot of beautiful oranges. There's a lot of really deep, rich reds and magentas. We just wanted to be a little bit dirtier, like to feel more like a grimier downtown. So we called the local dirt and gravel company and had them drop half a truckload of dirt so we could spread that around. 6 or 7 different sets have gotten full dirt coverage. But man, do I have to say, what a difference it makes.
We spent more time on this movie talking about atmospherics and dust and smoke than all our other movies combined. We went through 5 tons of dust that we blew in our actor's face, take after take after take. We were just trying to create this sense of clear mountain light interrupted by, you know, dense atmospherics.
Woo! Sorry about that.
Well, I've made a couple of movies here in New Mexico before, and I knew that John and Glenn were directing a movie. That's all I knew, and then I was sent the script, and I read it, and I loved it.
We'll get you out to a fob as soon as we find a ride for you. In the meantime, Captain Stern here will see to it that you get a wet hooch.
After we scouted Kirtland Air Force Base, we found the hilltop where we wanted to put our FOB set. We started engaging with the DoD.
This set is a fictional FOB. It's called FOB Norton, or Forward Operating Base. Also very similar to what we call a combat outpost. So it's very, very authentic looking from what you would really see in Iraq or Afghanistan.
They said that they would use it as a training mission where they would actually set up the fob the way they would overseas and use it for the guys to get the experience of landing on the ground and, you know, uneven terrain, setting up the HESCOs, setting up the tents and the huts and the latrines.
How about you guys? Anybody in here?
No, wait.
Oh, that's the shitter. Okay. Great.
Because our movie takes place in 2003 to 2005, we have real military dressed in our costumes. They're not wearing their own because the camo has changed. Props has had to get ballistic vests that are appropriate for that time period.
So far, I haven't been hit. But I want to see how good this bulletproof vest is.
Lisa Lovas is another just incredible asset. Not only can she do the military stuff, which she researched every aspect of every character and just really reflected reality in a perfect way.
The main protagonists in the movie, they're journalists and they have hard jobs and they really have to wear sort of very comfortable, tough-wearing clothes.
Ma'am, you got a sticker on your pants? It's bugging the shit out of me.
Thank you. I got new pants.
New pants in the desert.
All these people come here, they got a bag about this big. So Lisa did the math basically and saying like, well, she's bought 5 shirts, 3 pairs of pants, and they all have to kind of work together.
What the dick? Why did Fahim tell me I could dress like this?
I have never been so excited about the wardrobe for a movie in my life. I'm in the most comfortable clothes. Also, I'm a big fan of the headscarf.
Is this an orange rug? No, ma'am. Not on my vehicle.
The girl at the North Face store said it was like military grade. We have a sequence where Kim is in an embed with the Marines, and just her choice to put me in this kind of light purpley shirt ended up being so kind of beautiful against the dirt that we were rolling in and the Marines' desert camouflage.
Hearts and minds, the 2 best places to shoot somebody.
We're trying to, you know, have a level of atmosphere on the clothes and make it look like they've worn them for a while. And we can't do that to people's personal clothes. So we have supply clothes for close to 8,000 costumes. Most of the people in Kabul wear a particular color palette. We went with creams, beiges, grays, something that looked like kind of a bustling city.
Are you guys familiar with wearing burqas?
All the women we did in blue burqas. John and Glenn really wanted to keep the colors of the burqas to be the sun-drenched and sun-faded blues.
Ugh, so pretty, I don't even want to vote. We definitely need to have an Afghan presence on the set. Just one, how to pronounce things, the social interactions, just as a cultural expert at everything that we're trying to do.
My name is Muhammad Anwar Yusufi. I'm making sure everything is perfectly done as far as pretending we're in Afghanistan. So there are little things that needs to be fixed before the shooting.
Where are we? The Santa Fe prison. This plane is Kabul Airport.
It was supposed to be Kabul International Airport, and the sign, the huge sign was backwards. Instead of saying, "Welcome to Kabul," it was, "To Kabul, welcome."
Leroy, give us the next letter,
It's in the shot. They don't want to see it out the window. They need actors right there.
There you go.
We have to get out of their way.
It looks fantastic. It's going to be amazing. Other than the sign being upside down to start.
You walk onto our sets and you believe that you're in a different country. And again, that's a testament to our team.
Hey, that's my ass! Do you have a mother? Booyah, General. It is funny. I was on lunch break the other day, walking off the set, and then just seeing a fully dressed Taliban guy just having a smoke break, and he was like, "Hey, ma'am, how are you doing today?" And I was like, "Oh, that's right. We're just in Albuquerque."
How can we get to know each other?
See, I told you that O magazine would increase your understanding of women.
Can I have more both? Kim is American for white lady.
Hoorah, Baker.
Kim means who in Turkish?
Who's that white lady? I'm going to Afghanistan on Tuesday.
You're going to Afghanistan on Tuesday?
Yeah.
My name is Kim Barker, and I am the author of The Taliban Shuffle, which this movie is based on.
Shut up, pussy.
She says, welcome to Afghanistan.
I first went to Afghanistan in January of 2002. I fell in love immediately. I think every journalist who goes falls in love with the people and the landscape and simply how foreign it feels.
Yes, the air here, it takes some getting used to. It's quite polluted with feces.
I mean, all of that stuff was very funny in real life, you know. At a certain point, I had to write this book because only through this sort of absurd lens could you really see what it was like to live over there.
Today, Kabul's first licensed female driver, Gulbahar Yousefi, hits the road. In the first... That sucks. That sucks for women.
In the review of Taliban Shuffle, it says that she's like Liz Lemon in Afghanistan. That was what led me to the book and to the idea that maybe the book would be a movie that I could possibly worm my way into.
By the end of the first week that the book was out, she had optioned it. You know, I started meeting with Robert Carlock, who works very closely with Tina.
Kim has been so wonderful to work with on this because in one of our first meetings, she immediately said, I know you have to turn this into a movie.
Obviously, there's a good deal of her work that carries over into the film thematically, but in terms of telling this story, she was very accepting of what our process is.
Those assholes tried to shoot us!
Robert found a way to do it that wasn't like a biopic, but it was more of this kind of slice of life of what it is to be a war reporter, and also just to smatter on the war without being preachy about the war.
This war is like fucking a gorilla. You keep going till the gorilla wants to stop.
I think I can paraphrase that.
It was amazing how much of the script was about character and not about plot, and we really liked that.
Yes, excellent, Kim.
Some of the crazier things that happen to Kim in the movie that you might suspect, oh, that's made up for the movie. I'm flipping you the bird in here right now. Those things are true. Those things happen to Kim Barker.
Gosh damn it, man. This is a new one.
We'd have these Thursday night parties that felt like you were at a fraternity, you know, when you were 20 years old.
That was a bomb.
Part of what was fun about the process was getting to go off in my own tangents and get stories about Kim that weren't in the book or get stories from other people.
Brian Huber, tall Brian.
Hi. So is there another Brian around here somewhere that you're taller than?
Sure, Brian. Did you have an actual tall Brian?
No, I didn't have a tall Brian.
Robert came up with
Yeah,
that.
Robert's invention is tall Brian.
Couldn't one of you just be Brian?
Fair enough, didn't think of that. Also, sure Brian's dead.
Oh, fuck, really?
Good to see you. This is so weird. It's very strange walking on set, seeing Humvees in a landscape that looks very much like Afghanistan, seeing the Taliban over on the side of the hill, just sitting there eating kind bars, being told when I get out, be careful, don't walk up on the side of the hill because there are explosives there from yesterday and you don't want to set any of them off. I mean, very surreal experience. You look good though. This is about the way you would look.
This is great.
So,
This is my favorite movie wardrobe of all time.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about your hair so much.
Nope.
It was really cool to meet the lady who'd inspired the whole story, and she was lovely. She's got a real presence about her and energy, and she seems really interested in the world around her.
Oh, I gotta say, walking up here was very weird. I was like, hearing people yell Keem, I'm like, okay.
It was fun to have Kim be here and watch her life sort of twisted and turned a little bit, but still know at the core that it was Kim.
Keep, get back in the car!
Hi. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I heard you were yelling Keem, right?
Yeah. That was me.
Yeah.
You know, I asked her, just for fun, I asked her some questions about her relationship with my character in the movie.
I drank too much water and I have to pee.
Stop. I am engaged to be married.
Okay, Fahim, I know you like your women to be like beautiful, mysterious IKEA bags, okay? But we urinate, doctor, out our vaginas.
And a lot of what she said felt pretty close to some of the scenes that we're shooting. You think you urinate out of...
No, I know it's a separate thing. God, just please help me.
Kim is really smart, and I knew if she saw something that was wrong, she would say, like, oh, that's not right. She also understands that the movie is a movie now, and I think she had a good time on set.
After the book came out, you know, some Americans would be like, how could you write a funny book about what's going on in Pakistan and Afghanistan? There's nothing funny about what's happening over there. And meanwhile, Pakistanis and Afghans would be like, oh, my sister, you totally have our sense of humor, you know, because they have a very dark sense of humor. You have to be able to live what they've lived through.
The turban on her should make a very handsome boy.
When Kim first gets to Kabul, she doesn't really know the lay of the land. She's a novice at being an on-air correspondent.
So, do you believe the Afghani people are happy about our presence here?
No, Afghans are the people. Afghanis is the currency.
That's right, I knew that. Thank you.
It's her first time going out on patrol with the Marines.
I was completely a fish out of water. I had been nowhere. I went there and I made all these mistakes.
I mean, even the Dutch army don't wear orange. Fix it.
But I always enjoyed my embeds because you're able to actually get in as a journalist with the military and see things from their perspective, which is a very important perspective to have.
The military was indispensable. They were amazing to work with.
If you hit this and this ball, right, watch your fingers. Right.
They were so good at consulting on every level. If we had a question about the script, if we had a question about the motivations of characters, how things work, they were really great.
The great thing about shooting this movie is a lot of Marines and real guys are coming in and telling us exactly what's what. I think that brings a real legitimacy to all this stuff we're doing.
Seeing, you know, the military and Humvees and guns, that immediately gives you a different feeling, all of which is very helpful.
Ian Bryce is friends with the military. He has relationships there. Without Ian Bryce and the military's help, we would have been in a lot of trouble.
My experience with the DoD and the Pentagon and the various branches of the military was important so that we could get permission to shoot at Kirtland and with assets that are controlled by the U.S. military.
Generally, we ask filmmakers to send us the entire script and what it is that they want from us and when they want it. Filmmakers are not coming to us just for technical advice. They want assets. Access to our equipment, our people, and our installations. It's clear. Clear.
Working with the production company has been pretty fantastic. They know that there are challenges working with us because we have an operational mission. We are working with the 58th Special Operations Wing out of Kirtland Air Force Base, New Mexico. They're providing support with 2 Pave Hawks and a team of 3 pararescuemen.
Deploy out here like you would, and then we'll adjust it from there.
We had the help of the Pararescue Organization, which is the wing of the Air Force. They purposely go into the war zone with whatever operation is going on. They're the ones who fly in to save Tanya.
We had several static aircraft, the UH-1 Huey, we had a HH-60 Pave Hawk, and we also had the CV-22 Osprey and a HC-130J that was in the background.
The other ways that the Air Force is helping us out is they're bringing a wounded veteran.
Evan Jonikite was able to meet with a real amputee who had lost his legs.
It was a text message that I got saying, I may have a part for you to potentially work on a movie. My thought pattern was pretty much working on a movie. I'm still active duty. I'm not an actor. I don't know what they'd want me to do. It's kind of excitement, you know, kind of exciting. Just, I like new things, so.
August is so positive. He was an open book, and he knew what the state of my character was. He did tell me things about where one holds their body when they first are dealing with their prosthetic and how that shifts over time and how one gets more comfortable with it. It was just a great wealth of knowledge.
I know what people think, and I know how they react, and I know their good days and bad days. So I think it was worth it for him to actually hear that.
I think it's a great moment for our movie to help shine a light on veterans everywhere who have given of themselves in service of our country.
Okay, so really quick, of those that are going to be on the helicopter, who hasn't flown on a helicopter before? Hey, ma'am, all right. Okay. Woo. All right, so we got some newbies. This will be fun. I like it.
We had a scene where Tina's character and a couple of her camera crew were taken on an embed mission. So we actually had Tina fly in a UH-1 Huey helicopter. They flew for an hour, and we shot inside and from a camera helicopter outside.
When the production company came to us and requested that we have actors and cameramen that were going to be on board, we got together with our experts from the UH-1 community and made sure that we could have the right mix of crew members and actors.
They were really great, and it was a lot of fun. I got to fly in a helicopter with the door open.
Probably my favorite thing to shoot thus far was going up in the military helicopters. We took 2 helicopters up, one had Tina and the director.
When we got Tina in there, we made sure that she had egress training, that she was trained in how to put on her seatbelt, how to get out in case of an emergency, but also how to use the headset, just how to act as a crew member would going in and out of theater.
We're going to taxi out towards the C-130, and then we're going to make a right turn.
We took off at about 5,500 feet, and they went up to 9,500 feet. Temperature changes about 4 degrees per 1,000 feet, so it got down to probably mid-teens, low 20s with the wind chill.
You go up there, and the doors are completely open. All you're wearing is a lap belt. You're tens of thousands of feet in the air. freezing cold, you immediately have to piss yourself because your bladder shrinks.
My aircraft, there was a lot of hooting and hollering and yelling and screaming and high-fiving and fist pumping.
I've never been in a helicopter, never shot in a helicopter. It was one of the coolest things I've ever done in a movie.
That was great.
You did great. Yeah.
It was so smooth. They have been a great resource for us because as much as possible, you want to get all that stuff right because it's a very complicated world.
And I think it's great for the crew and for the actors to go and see the men and women of our armed forces and frankly give their own thanks in their own way for what it is that they do out there on our behalf to continue to protect our freedom every day.
What the hell was that?
It's probably just a wedding somewhere nearby. They like to shoot off guns at weddings here. You get it. You're from Florida.
The movie takes place through Kim's eyes, and most of what she sees is just where she's channeled to.
Yes, excellent, Kim.
The scope of what's going on in war and in that country and in the world and in the history of Afghanistan is so much bigger than anything Kim has done.
I'm Fahim.
And so Fahim takes Kim under his wing, and then Fahim gets married.
The great thing about the wedding scene is so much of this film is about journalist culture, and that's a moment where we get to take a look into the behind the scenes of Afghan culture.
We wanted to show that this is not just a place where a war is happening, that there's beauty there. And an Afghan wedding is a beautiful thing. It's ancient.
The pride that they take in the ceremony of it, I think, is really special.
The wedding scene was one of my most favorite, actually, because we shot in their theater, and they have these backdrops that are 100 years old, in perfect condition, beautifully painted backdrops.
Please be very careful. Do not touch the backdrops.
They actually tried to make quite an accurate portrayal of a wedding in Afghanistan. So it was really beautiful and really interesting. It's got a very different vibe to a wedding like in the Western world, I suppose.
We approached it as they do thematic weddings sometimes in Afghanistan, where ours was sort of Arabian Nights, so we got beautiful sheer fabrics that we made drapes around the room. We had a local florist. We sent her reference photos of what flowers might look like, and she matched them as closely as she could.
It's conservative compared to an American wedding, but it's for Afghans, that's where they get to sort of shed their veils and get colorful, and the women are wearing tons of makeup and have huge hairdos.
Those eyelashes are more expensive than my car.
Costumes are beautiful. Chris is wearing a wonderful white suit, which I was not expecting that to be the tradition there.
Oi, Brian.
Hey, guys, this party sucks over here. The man party sucks.
They won't let the men in with the women. It's not fair. There's a lot more going on in there. There's a lot of female energy that they won't let us have.
All our Afghan consultants have said, the biggest bummer of your life is when you're a little boy and you get to an age where you have to go on the men's side, because all the fun is on the girls' side. But for the wedding, the man is able to come over to the woman's side for one time in his entire life as an adult man. And that's where he's married. He's not married on the men's side. He's married on the woman's side. There's certain beauty to that.
Even though the men and women are separated, I still feel like they live for weddings because that's where they get to let loose and dance and sing.
We got to kind of dance in the style of, I guess, how you would dance, I hope it's right, how you would dance at an Afghan wedding reception.
A wedding is the time you want to be a woman in Afghanistan because it was just hell fun for us. You're beautiful. Shut up. How are you?
Because men and women are separated, the women are allowed to express a sartorial and tonsorial freedom that they don't usually have. That freedom in that scene kind of leads to a greater connection between those women. And I think that especially means a lot to Kim.
We all have some reason for being here. What's your reason? What is yours?
I don't have a good one.
The wedding's like an important part in the film when our characters delve into their backstories a little and give you an insight as to why they are the kind of people that they are or why they are in Kabul in the first place. It was a dramatic moment. John and Glenn came in and told us that we could have this be slightly more weighty and not as jokey.
I wanted out of having to decide whether I should just marry my mildly depressive boyfriend. Oh my God, maybe this is about Chris. Am I in Afghanistan because I was afraid to have one conversation with Chris?
Which of course still had some funny moments. That is officially the most American white lady story I've ever heard. Shut up. They allowed us to improvise a bit.
Yeah, if you want to do this first, or let's do that. Whatever you want to do first. We'll play with it once you guys get it.
We'll always do like one version that's the scripted version and then a few where we can riff.
Somehow, me and my fat ass
You're having fun.
Kim, you are great.
Thank
You
you.
have white hips.
Thank you, guys.
We really bond together, and from that point on, it feels very much like Kim's here to stay.
Kim, you are a battle-tested foreign correspondent. You're a solid Kabul 9.5, and you're fucking single.
It's like, this is my best friend, and we're like taking over this town together sort of thing.
This is your life.
And we're surrounded by all the other women at the wedding. It's a very empowering sort of stage in the script, I suppose.
Bitch, we are going out tonight!
Robert has said that when he talks to anyone who's actually served in Afghanistan or worked in Afghanistan, they instantly understand that it's a comedy, because I guess if you've been there, you know that it's insane.
And what was so cool to me about this world, which was that combination of living hard and partying hard and laughing and seeing the ridiculousness in everything, and then turning around and being scared for your life the next day, and that those two things feed each other.
Hello. So wait, who is fronting the show?
Funhouse is a real place. They're called guest houses in Afghanistan. It's for journalists and contractors, and, civilians to live in. They're protected fortress compounds in a culture that doesn't accept outsiders very openly.
It's a kind of meeting of expats slightly going off their trolleys. It's a lot of drinking, a lot of drugs, a lot of sex. Quite a nihilistic existence, really.
There is a party-like atmosphere. Serious journalists in the middle of their life going to beer pong tournaments.
I really get lit up. Whatever drugs are on the table, I'll take them. Probably a little hungover, from some shrooms and some acid. You can't do drugs alone, so you do them with your friends. And you just dance and sweat and feel each other. Yeah, I think about my mother's womb. And I think about the warmth of it. Tina never does these drugs with me. I mean, Kim.
Kim does.
Kim does. She likes her hallucinogens.
It's like this little world that they exist in where they forget that there's a world on the outside.
I started to feel like this was normal. You know it's not, right?
It's all part and parcel of escaping your real life and going native. Usually when you go native, it's part of the local culture overseas, but in their case, since they're not allowed to mingle with the local culture, they just create this culture of their own.
This movie is about the way that people deal with this world.
I think the people over there are running away from something. I don't think any of them would say it, but I think they're over there to exorcise some demons.
I cannot go back to sitting at a goddamn desk. I can't.
In the reality, people died. I guess that can engender a sort of mania about survival.
You can't totally relax because there's the threat of danger, but they embrace it and encourage it, I think.
Then it also is a pretty central theme, just how desensitized people become in that situation. And the more horrific things they see, the less sensitive they are towards it.
It becomes a very addictive lifestyle where people can kind of take on a new persona, be who they want to be, and kind of get the adrenaline rush of combat.
There is a reason to believe that a person can get addicted to this type of high. Soldiers, athletes.
War reporters, got it.
I do not want to work with you.
There's either adrenaline through the roof or there's nothing happening. So they drink and party and do drugs to either numb the realization that they're living in this madness, and they start thinking it's normal.
Mark.
Genre-wise, what do we call this? I feel like it's a movie.
A very unconventional comedy.
War comedy. Warmedy.
Yeah, warmedy. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's real life to the extent that real life is ridiculous.
You have a bed in your office.
Yes.
Comedy is a very effective way of communicating real things.
All of these genres are involved in life. Not everything's always funny, and not everything's always sad.
The goal of the movie is to try to describe how individuals return to some sense of themselves at the end of this, no matter what they've been through.
That is why we drink, do drugs, and shag strangers in restaurant bathrooms.